I've already ranked the top 10 best minigames in Super Mario Party, so now it's time for me to do the opposite. Believe it or not, this was actually a very challenging list to make because most of the minigames are actually very fun. But alas, I managed to do it. So that's why today, I'll be ranking the top 10 worst Super Mario Party minigames. This list is based on how fun the minigames are, how well they control, and anything else that makes them not so great. And with that out of the way, let's get to the countdown! Number 10. Sign, Steal, Deliver. Remember how Amazon said that one day all of their packages will be delivered by drones? Well, Nintendo beat them to it. In this 1v3 minigame, one person controls a drone in order to steal packages from these toads, while the other three are on foot. The drone moves a lot faster and can move around more easily, but the unbalanced teams make things hectic. I'd say this minigame is pretty fair, but I've never enjoyed it that much. I mean, it's pretty annoying when another player gets in your way, and it's just pretty boring overall. And this minigame is way too long. It's a minute long. I feel like it would have been better if they just made it 30 seconds like all the other minigames. You know, I just realized something. We're stealing packages from these toads and loading them onto trucks. Isn't that the exact opposite of what a delivery service is supposed to do? Or maybe everyone's just a criminal? I don't know. Number 9. Trike Harder. I'm gonna keep it short with this one. Basically, everyone's on tricycles, and you have to be the first one to cross the finish line. You control a tricycle by making really awkward motions with the Joy-Con, and then it ends after like 10 seconds. I'm not even joking. This is one of those minigames that you play once, say neat, and never want to play again. It's just too short, it's not even worth your time. Also, Bowser on a tricycle. Yeah, I don't think I'll be recovering from this. Number 8. Lost in the Shuffle. This minigame's pretty easy. You remember those games where you have to keep track of something as it gets shuffled around? Yeah, well, you're looking at one right now. All you have to do is keep track of the smallest toad statue, or whatever these things are called, as it gets put inside of bigger toad statues. Then they'll get shuffled around and you place your bets. The problem stems from the fact that each toad statue can only be picked once, so even if you pay attention as to where the prize is, if you aren't fast enough, you lose. I think this is pretty unfair since it puts some of the players at a disadvantage. Sure, you could go and pick the second smallest toad statue, but nobody knows where that is. You're only paying attention to where the smallest one is, and if you don't get that, then you're screwed. If multiple players could pick the same option, then this minigame wouldn't be as bad, but as it stands, this is one of the least fair in the entire series. Number 7. Senseless Census. Mario Party sure does have an obsession with counting things, and unfortunately, the disease spread to Super Mario Party. This time around, you have to count all the toads on the train, but these toads will not sit still! There's usually between 20 and 30 toads on the train, and whoever guesses closest wins. Now yes, this minigame is more fair than others I've already discussed, but holy crap is this hard! The toads moving around everywhere make it impossible to keep track of how many are on board. I almost never guess correctly because of how much is going on. It's definitely the hardest counting-related Mario Party minigame of the bunch. I mean, at least you can see Toads playing on their Nintendo Switches in the background. I wonder if Toad would be down to play some Mario Kart later. Because, you know, Toad is definitely my friend and definitely not a fictional character. Nope. Number 6. Rumble Fishing. I don't think I've ever played a minigame that was so mind-numbingly easy. The only thing there is to do is fly around over the water and shake your Joy-Con upwards when you feel a shake. The stronger the shake, the bigger the eel. The bigger the eel, the more likely you are to win. Now there is some strategy to doing this correctly, but most of the time I just pull the first one I feel. So even though it technically isn't luck-based, it really feels like it. And even if it was, it wouldn't matter since there's barely anything to this minigame. It seriously takes 5 seconds to complete. So while this minigame does stand out, its oversimplicity makes it a drag. Number 5. What a Racket. Now here's a minigame that's fair and not fair at the same time. It's a 1v3 game and has you playing a game of tennis. The 3 players get normal-sized rackets, while the one gets a very large racket. Bob-ombs rain down from the sky and you have to smack them onto the other side. That's a lot of information for a minigame, but whatever. The biggest problem I have with this minigame is that it's very hard for the team of 3 to win. The big racket takes up like half the space and can easily hit multiple bob-ombs at once. Meanwhile, the other players have to bounce them back without running into the others, and while worrying about the other bob-ombs falling on their side. I mean, just look at these scores! This minigame is clearly one-sided. Look, maybe I'm just bad at this one, but there's clearly a problem here. And what's with the name? What, a racket? Does the game not know what a racket is? Hey, I'm pretty stupid, but even I know what a racket is. See, I've got one right here. Hi-ya! Number 4. Timing is money. And we've officially gotten to the worst of the worst. In other words, the rest of these minigames have little to no substance at all. Like this one, where all you have to do is push one button. Whoop-de-doo. So you have to jump and ground pound on the button while it's showing coins. However many coins are displayed is what you get. If you get a bob-omb instead, you lose all your money. So although it is possible to grab a bunch of coins, it's pretty unlikely you'll get more than like 10. It's really difficult to time when to ground pound because one slip up can cause you to lose everything. I honestly don't have anything else to say for this one though because of how simple it is. Just avoid it at all costs. Number 3. Massive Glory. Ugh. Math. Why is there always gotta be math? And it's ironic too because this is one of the most brain-dead minigames yet. So you and a teammate have to work together to destroy the other team's castle. Each castle is 50 HP, and you deal damage by hitting a number on a dice block, 1 through 6. You and your teammates' numbers are multiplied to create a total score that will deal damage on the opposing team's fortress. The first team to destroy the other team's castle wins. I honestly think this is a cool idea. The concept of taking turns to destroy another team's forces is really cool. It's just that this is so boring! All you do is click one button like every 20 seconds, and that's it! And it doesn't even feel like there's any skill involved whatsoever. I've had games that were over really fast, and others where both me and my teammate kept rolling ones. Maybe there is some skill involved, but man, who even cares? I've never seen a minigame that required so little of the player. Like, I'd almost rather do math than play this minigame. Okay, well, maybe not. Number 2. Drop Quiz. The name alone makes me shudder. This is a minigame that you won't easily forget because of how asinine it is. It's a 1v3 where everyone watches a randomized video of toads or paratroopers carrying fruits, and the one player has to choose a question for the other players to answer. If anyone gets the answer wrong, they're out of there. This isn't inherently wrong, but the difficulty spike just ruins the whole thing. The first question is pretty straightforward. The second one can be kind of tough, but the final one? Oh, that one gets me every time. The video has so much going on that there's no way you're gonna keep track of everything. If you're playing with multiple human players, then you have a small chance at memorizing everything, but if you're with bots, you don't stand a chance. Although I have won this minigame before as the team is free, it was always because of dumb, stupid luck. I mean, it's not like there's much luck in Mario Party anyways, but still.
Alright, I've got one question left. I've got this. What the hell is that? How am I supposed to know what the answer is? Alright, guess I'll just have to guess. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me.
So far we've had minigames that required 3 button presses, 2 button presses, and even 1 button press. But here is a minigame that only requires 0 button presses, because motion controls. This is truly some riveting gameplay. In all seriousness, the number 1 spot on this list goes to Don't Wake Wiggler, easily one of the worst minigames I've ever played before. The only thing it entails is waving the Joy-Con back and forth slowly, and that's it. The game randomly selects a player to go first, which I mean, okay, that sucks, but there really wasn't a way around that. So you'll take turns petting Wiggler as much as you can, but you only get 5 seconds to do so you have to move rather quickly. After a certain amount of pets, Wiggler will wake up and whoever woke him up loses all their points. And can I just say that Wiggler waking up is one of the biggest jump scares I've ever seen in a video game. Imagine how terrified young children must be when they play this game for the first time. And probably the worst part of all is that if you don't win, everyone loses. If you don't get first, you get dead last, which seems so stupid since this is a free-for-all minigame. and the suspension that builds from waiting for Wiggler to wake up, all while trying to ensure that you get the most points possible while also taking the order of which you went into consideration, it just gets to be too much and really ruins this minigame. It's definitely the worst Super Mario Party minigame by far. Well, after playing all of the worst Super Mario Party minigames, I should probably go back and play some of the older Mario Party games, and you should too. But first, watch my other top 10 of the best Super Mario Party minigames. It's got all the laughs, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you all again real soon. Goodbye.